Thank you very much for joining this session. My name is Dr. Mark Nasila. I'm the Chief Analytics Officer of FNB Risk. And today I'm going to talk to you about how FNB is leveraging AI to redefine risk management and ways of working. On an ongoing basis, I'm sure you've all heard about AI, machine learning, and how other organizations are leveraging these capabilities to redefine their businesses, reimagine a future, and create a better future. For example, you've heard about Google's AI breast cancer screening tool, which is helping doctors proactively diagnose patients early enough so that they can be cured. Or you've heard about Tesla and how they're leveraging AI with the development of autonomous cars. Or you've heard about organizations leveraging drone technology to helping farmers with precision farming. For FNB, we're leveraging AI to redefine risk management and ways of working. As you know, the current global conditions, the economic conditions, imply that for an organization like us, we're likely to be subjected to various acts of financial crime and fraud. This may be money laundering, terrorist financing, bribery, fraud, and so forth. And for these reasons, we need to make sure that we leverage these capabilities to making sure we're building on desirability, to making sure that our organization is a desirable platform for our customers. In addition to this, some of these crimes form part of what we need to monitor from a regulatory perspective. For example, money laundering. Within the organization, we have various algorithms and rules which have been designed to deal with these specific threats. So we've got algorithms for money laundering, other algorithms for various types of fraud, or algorithms for terrorist financing, or even tax evasion. When any customer or a transaction is flagged as suspicious, they have to go through a forensic due diligence process. And the purpose of this process is to make sure that a forensic analyst performs an assessment by looking at the view of this customer or the transaction to confirm that there is a specific threat that exists here. As you can see, this process is tedious because it involves an analyst going to different sources of information about the customer or the transaction, creating insights. After putting together insights, putting together a rationale, which is then put together as part of a synopsis, which goes through quality assurance before a decision is made. And to make sure that we get to due diligence process much quicker, we had to make sure we enhance this process. As you can see, it's very tedious and lengthy. For these reasons, we had to develop Manila, our in-house developed solution that enables, enhances, and reimagines the forensic due diligence process so that we can get to these desirability decisions much quicker as opposed to what was happening before. So Manila, just like the analyst, collects information about the customer, which forms part of a single view required for enhanced due diligence decisioning. It then checks whether the customer has been flagged in any other type of model, whether it's a model for tax evasion, whether the customer has been flagged on adverse media for various other types of threats which we are required to monitor. Manila then uses this view to create insights. And what's most impressive is that Manila creates a human written rationale, just like the analyst would have written a statement based on the insights and the view around the customer or the transaction to guide for decision making. This now is generated as part of a synopsis, which is handed over to an analyst to perform quality assurance and provide a recommendation or guide a recommendation on what decision is required. And this is a way where we've reimagined the process. An analyst used to perform the whole function from sourcing data to creating a view up to recommendation. Now, the tedious part of this process is performed by Manila. And what the analyst now has to do is to perform quality assurance and the recommendation, as well as provide feedback to Manila to enable Manila to keep on learning on an ongoing basis to improve on its decisioning. This process has been reimagined and has resulted into much benefits. For example, the time it takes has reduced from almost 3 hours to 41 minutes on the review process. The whole generation of the synopsis before it goes through quality assurance used to take hours or even days. And with this process, on average, it takes to as low as 8 seconds and maybe up to a minute, depending on how big the profile is. This is not a licensing tool, it's in-house developed, but it means that we have to spend less from a licensing perspective. What we have done is make sure that Manila works with other tools to enhance this process. A lot of reviews had to go through a second or a third pass for quality assurance. Up to 70% of those reviews had to be reviewed. But because Manila is consistent and it's accurate, much more of this effort is now being used by analysts on quality assurance. And because Manila does much of the tedious work putting together information and the rationale consistently. This with additional capabilities like providing a single view of crime, including other threats the customer has been flagged for, helps with consistent and more accurate decisioning. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a time where, because of the pandemic, a lot of us had to work from home, work remotely, and execute the same productivity we were required to have so that our businesses can keep going. And Manila supported the whole idea of working from home. So our analysts did not need to go and meet at work and have meetings. They just needed to work with Manila, as I had explained, to making sure that we have the same levels of productivity, keeping up with criminals, to making sure our platform is a desirable one. This started as a proof of concept, and over time, we've started scaling this across the group, and we've seen an exponential benefit in an efficiency, productivity, but also improving the ways of working. So analysts don't have to spend long hours working on because they have to go through all the tedious process. What they have to do is receive a synopsis, provide quality assurance, make sure everything is in order, and confirm what decision needs to be made. Thank you so much, and I hope to meet you at the Speakers Lounge for those of you who have questions and answers or any thing you need to clarify around our process of building Manila. Thank you so much, and God bless you.